So please welcome our commencement speaker, Ms. Shreve Stockton.
The bad news is I don't have my voice back after surgery. The good news is this will be short and sweet. I'm going to tell you one of the secrets of life. You can't avoid pain. You will lose money, probably more than once. You will lose a loved one, probably more than once. Your body will fail you in some way, at some time, possibly more than once. None of us are exempt from the hard times and the heartbreaking times. Now, why would I make such a dour declaration on this day of celebration? Because when you understand this truth and accept it, you are immediately granted a very special kind of power, which brings extraordinary freedom. When you stop making decisions based on what you think will keep you free from pain, which is a false assumption to begin with, you start making decisions that are aligned with your unique truth. The hard times will find you, whether you follow the rules or you follow your truth. So why not follow your truth? I realized this a couple of years after I graduated from college. I was in Death Valley alone in May. It was 111 degrees. And the only other person I saw was the guy working at the gas station Jiffy Mart. I had gone to Death Valley because I was in the middle of my quarter-life crisis. My health was failing, my finances were failing, and the things I felt like I was supposed to be doing weren't fulfilling to me. And I had a big chip on my shoulder about it. I felt like it was really unfair. And out there, alone in the desert, I realized this truth, that you can't avoid pain, and that it's not necessarily a mark of some kind of failure. It's just a mark of life. And as I drove back home to San Francisco, I felt okay for the first time in a long time. While camping in Death Valley, I was eating little more than trail mix, and this helped unlock the mystery of my health crisis. It was celiac disease. 10 years ago, gluten-free wasn't part of the lexicon. And as I healed, I wrote one of the first books on gluten intolerance, the book I wished I'd had to help me. A few days after I signed that book contract, the apartment building I lived in burned down in the middle of the night. Barefoot, out on the sidewalk, my neighbors and I huddled together, watching the flames. Suddenly, I possessed nothing but the few boxes of film negatives I'd grabbed as I ran out. But I held on to that Death Valley truth. And this time, while I certainly felt the shock of another hard time, I didn't take it personally. I moved to a tiny studio, and instead of replacing my furniture, I got a Vespa. I loved riding my Vespa around San Francisco, and when I decided to move back to New York City, I rode my Vespa across the United States. That ride lasted 2 months and exactly 6,000 miles. I took the scenic route and spent nights, sometimes several days, with people I met when I'd stop for milkshakes or directions. That ride changed the way I saw the land and the people around me, and it changed the way I saw myself. By the time I reached New York, the country had put its spell on me, And I turned around and moved to Wyoming with no job and knowing no one. One day, out of the blue, a new friend delivered an orphan coyote pup to my door. I was not expecting this, nor prepared for it, but Charlie moved in with my cat and me and is now 8 years old. Caring for Charlie gave me a crash course in commitment. He anchored me, and this opened the door for more animals, many more. Another book contract, and work I love and am challenged by. Each opportunity was born from a previous choice I had made, choices that were aligned with my unique truth. With each choice, a very large percentage of my friends and family said, "Don't." They were worried about the potential pain. And each time, I said, the hard times are going to come, whether I follow your wishes or my intuition. And so I'm going to pack in as much good as I can in the times in between. Each one of you knows what this means for you. You will always know what this means for you. Stay in touch with your truth and allow that to inform your every choice. Congratulations.